Q&A. Mr. Thormeyer, representing the Wall Street Journal. A friend, I hope.
Mr. Testani, there have been references to a number of emails from members of your company that basically gleefully talked about how they worked the system to profit from the fall of the housing market, and even to this day said they would do it again if it meant that they would make more money. And my question to you is, do you consider this a good moral position for your company to take?
First of all, for those people who sent an email out reflecting in their personal opinions, again, I'd like to apologize for the corporation for projecting an error of happiness, but one can't help but feel good when one makes a profit. That is what we are there for. That is what those individual investors and investment bankers are there to do, and that is to produce positive results for their shareholders. So their family of shareholders was certainly felt good about the fact that they recognized the decline and invested in that. Short positions are taken every single day of the week. Short positions are taken against every mom and pop store in this country. Short positions simply say that you think the stock is overvalued at what it's currently selling for, and your expectations are that instead of it rising, you believe it's going to decline. That is where the exuberance comes from, not necessarily from the penalties or harm that was done to an individual investor who was on the wrong side of that transaction. I apologize to those homeowners if that was conveyed. Oh, yeah. Obviously representing the New York Times.
You just said that you have lost a considerable amount of money on this transaction.
That is true.
And we have heard no end to the tales about massive losses amongst big Wall Street investment banks like your own. How then do you justify these gargantuan bonuses that your investment firm continues to pay out to its
I'm
employees?
actually happy that you asked that question, because we are on an incentive system and have been for quite some time. That incentive is performance-based. When those people that manage the transactions that lost money, I can assure you that those individuals did not receive a substantial bonus. But those people that were on the right side of any transaction, as I mentioned to you, there's 7 million trades in any given day. In 7 million trades, there are people that have gained in wealth, and there are people who have lost wealth. Those investment bankers who happen to have those portfolios that increased wealth were rewarded with profits, bonuses, etc. And I'd like to also share with you that Goldman Sachs is the first company on the street that has clawback provisions in its compensation plan. And people unfamiliar with the terminology clawback, it simply means that if you receive a bonus today, but that particular bonus was based on the assumption that you produced a P&L or a margin or a profit on whatever that incentive was to you, that if 90 days, 160 days, or 1 or 2 years from now, that particular deal goes south, we have the ability to claw back and take back a portion of that bonus. Now, how many people do you know in the press who have written terrific articles and maybe published a few books, and then that book turns out to be an error? Do you think they're giving back any of their money that they made on the book? Probably not.
Do people who lose money also get penalized?
Absolutely. They get penalized in the pocketbook, or they lose their jobs, which are even much more a greater penalty. And I'll share a few books with you that can document some of those facts in a great deal of detail. Yes, Carl.
Kathy, she has-
Kathy,
I'm
you must be representing those blogs.
I am.
Which blog is it?
Actually, I am an illegal alien from the state of California. And I obtained a 100% no-doc stated income loan for a $750,000 house. And my loan was apparently sold off into one of these CDOs. At no time did anybody from the bank confirm my stated income and who was doing the rating. And by the way, $90 million is a drop in the bucket in terms of a loss on Wall Street.
Yes, 90 million is not, but, you know, pretty soon it gets to be real money. 90 million here, 90 million there. Absolutely. But as far as your loan, and specifically your loan, I'm sorry, I cannot comment on that. I don't have any personal experience. I do know that there were a number of those loans that were put together and constructed, and obviously that's why the bubble was created. But if you want to look at guilty parties, I'd start with Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. I'd also look at those people that evaluated and rated the rating agencies. We can go on and on and on. It's a much, much deeper topic than we have time to answer today. So with that, I'd like to say thank you very much. I'll take questions one-on-one from each and every one of you. Mr.